Good morning, my name's Caroline Hunt and I'm the Managing Director of Emerald Starfish. Today I want to spend about 10 minutes of time just talking to you about how to write really good job adverts like a pro really. So let me just share the screen. Right. So what we're going to look at is what do you really want from your adverts, what the candidates want, how you're going to make them more appealing to them, and how to make your advert stand out from the crowd. So the first thing I just wanted to look at was the difference between a job description and a job advert, because quite often when we take on new clients, they're posting their job descriptions and that's not really what an advert is. So the best way to think about it is think about some technical product, I don't know, television, and the television manual is very different from the advert that you would see for a new television on the television. So it's really making sure that you're covering off, you're thinking about it in a different way. It's got to appeal to candidates to get them to read it, and ultimately you want them to apply for it as well. So what should be on them? So these are kind of the basics and they should be on all adverts. So the first thing is salary range. So adverts without salaries on them will get 53% less applications, because it's like going into a shop, seeing something you like and not knowing the price. Most people just leave. They think it's going to be too expensive. And it's the same if it's not on the salary, if it's not on the advert, that it's not going to be right for them. Competitive doesn't cut it either. You know, if it's competitive, then surely you should be shouting about it. So it's really important to have a range. If there are any issues internally, if you're going to offer somebody new joining the company more than somebody who's already in the company is getting paid for the same job, you need to address that. One of the best ways to do that is to have quite a wide range, so that it encompasses both. But it's really a conversation you should be having before that the advert is out there. The next thing is to think about your job title. And this isn't necessarily the title of the job within your organisation, but it's more about the title of the job that's going to get people to click on that or to search for that term. So, for example, we're doing some work at the moment. We're looking for a vehicle damage assessor, and that is a good term. If we use the word estimator, we get much more people who are within the construction industry and looking at estimation along those lines. So have a real think about what, and do some research, you know, ask Google, have a look on Google, look on the websites. What are the sort of job titles that people are searching for? It's really important to include a location and a postcode. This is to do with searching. So what tends to happen is candidates put in their home postcode and then search however many miles away from that in terms of the position that they're looking for. So it's really important that you have the postcode, but also you have the town as well. I would also include other benefits. So at the moment, with the cost of living crisis, the number one thing that people want to know is how much money they're going to get paid. But it's really important as well to build the package really. So, you know, do you have, you know, how many days holidays? Is there flexible working from home? Do you offer private health insurance, gym membership, bacon butties on a Friday? If you offer them, shout about it, particularly the generations Y and Z are really interested in the whole package and what that means to them. And then the final thing that we always include is timelines. A candidate who is new to a job board, if they're searching, wants to know how fresh the advert is. You know, are you still recruiting? And it's certainly the question that we get asked the most is this job still available? So I would have on it the timelines. Start off before you stick the advert out there with putting your time in your diary to do the interviews, and then you can put that date on the advert so that candidates know exactly when they should be contacted or when the closing date has passed. Okay. And then I think it's really important to think about the language of your adverts. So what do I mean by this is the tone of voice. So, you know, how a business communicates with its audience. And it should reflect some of your brands, your personality and your beliefs. I think it's really important to talk about the personal connection. So in the old days, we would write an advert that said, this company is looking for, or we are looking for. Whereas now what we would say is, what are you looking for? You know, you might be somebody who is looking for the next step, and really talk to them in a personal space. And then also to think about what emotional appeal you can use. It shows that a company cares. I think that tools like ChatGPT are really great for having getting the advert tweaked to reflect a tone of voice that is perhaps friendly but professional, to make sure that it's reflecting what you really want. And the best tones are friendly, warm, informal, or funny. So as well as paying for job board advertising, obviously it's really important to think about kind of the social media aspect as well, and what you're going to put out there. So they need to be slightly different, really. So I mean, the ones that we tend to use on a standard basis are Instagram, Facebook. TikTok's becoming a bit more into its own. Obviously there's Twitter, and more recently Threads as well, that you can look at using. Really, it's about the graphics here. So, you know, how can you make the graphics eye-catching? Have an obvious call to action. You know, how do you how do they apply? So for instance, with Instagram, there's no point having a link within the post. You need to have a link on your homepage that sends them to the appropriate place, or put it as in the comments underneath and make reference to that. But so yes, so sort of have the basics. So as well, so things like, again, salary, location, job title, and use your hashtags to make sure that they can be found. TikTok, we've dabbled in a little bit. So people tend to stay longer on TikTok than any other platform, and therefore it's definitely an opportunity. In terms of paid adverts, it's really cost effective as well. So it's certainly worth looking at, particularly if your demographic that you're wanting to attract sits within that group of people who are on TikTok in the evenings. So that's what I would say about what you should be doing. So have a think about the 5 sort of things that you need to include, which are salary range, location, postcode, timeline, and how to apply. So have a think about those. If you would like to have a one-to-one strategy session with me, I'm open to that completely. These are free sessions. They last about 60 minutes. At the moment, I'm doing a block around employer branding, which is about how to advertise effectively, which job boards you should be using, etc. Next week, I'm going to be talking about managing your Glassdoor and Indeed reviews, and then finally how to improve your employer branding. But if you want to talk to me about anything that is specific to your business, please feel free to book onto one of these sessions. All you need to do is go onto the website, which is emerald-starfish.com, and access my diary there to book straight in. So thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you at the next time. Thank you. Goodbye.